So Alan is telling me that it's just about time. I think I have 30 seconds, but because we're doing our meeting upside down today, we will go ahead and call our meeting to order. So welcome to another meeting of the Rotary Club of Livermore. So we are going to start with the pledge, and Lee Yonker, would you be willing to lead us in the pledge today?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and now—
Can we please have everybody mute themselves?
Yep,
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff, for doing that.
My
I do know that we have a couple visiting Rotarians. Alan, would you like to introduce one of your guests who's a fellow Rotarian?
Yes, I'd like to introduce Audrey Horning, who's a fellow Rotarian from the Pleasanton Downtown Club. She's also a member of the Livermore Symphony. Hi, Audrey.
Welcome.
Hi, Audrey. Welcome. And then any other visiting Rotarians today? I know we also have some other visiting guests. Alan, did you have any other guests you would like to introduce?
No, that's it for today. Laura was supposed to join us but couldn't make it.
Okay, and then I know that Dale is with us again today, so welcome, Dale. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Glad to have you. And Daniel Pryor is with us again today. Welcome, Daniel.
Hello, thank you.
And we look forward to you becoming a member since you keep joining us, so thank you. Do we have any other guests who are with us today that either I'm not seeing? Okay, so there's our introduction of all of our guests today. And now I would like to invite Tim Berry to do an introduction of our program today and our speaker.
Very good. Hi, folks. Carol Rosenstein is the founder and executive director of Music, Mends, and Minds, a 501c3 nonprofit that creates musical support groups for patients with Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, traumatic brain injury, stroke, and PTSD. These musical support groups foster a community between the musicians and singers, as well as their families, friends, and caregivers, all of whom thrive on socialization and music making. Carol was born and raised in South Africa and moved to the US at the age of 16, pursuing a chiropractic license with both her mother and father, becoming the first mother, father, daughter trio to graduate in the same class. Carol's work evolved to include mind-body medicine, and she attained her master's in clinical psychology to help her further delve into alternative and complementary medicine. She met her husband, Erwin, in 1985 after she put an ad in the Jewish journals, receiving over 90 responses. Erwin was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2006, which led to dementia years later. Erwin developed side effects from his Parkinson's medication and had to reduce the dosage. One day, Erwin sat down and played the piano and reconnected with his environment, like as if he had just taken a dose of medicine. This prompted Carol to look into the healing power of music on the mind. This is what led to create Music, Mends, Minds, as she explored the amazing prospect of music as medicine.
Thank you very much, Tim, for that wonderful introduction, and very appropriate that it was accompanied by you playing the guitar. So, Carol, welcome.
Oh my goodness, that is such a royal welcome. Thank you, everybody. I'm so deeply honored to be able to share today's luncheon meeting with you all. So, yes, was that me? Yes, indeed it is. And you know, the only thing we're sure of is the moment that we are within at this very minute. We're together, it's real, and I'm going to share a beautiful story with you. Sit back, relax, and we're going to play a little mini video that tells our story, and I'll see you all on the other side. Thank you. I have Chris at the control. Chris, can you hear me? Ah, there you go. Thank you. All right, Mr. and Mrs. America, come on. Hi, guys. I'm gonna say hi to the gang. I'm gonna greet them. All righty, go ahead, sit down. All right, well done. Okay, you wanna play a little bit for us? How about, yeah, how about try to remember? You wanna do try to remember? My name is Carol Rosenstein, and I am the co-founder of our nonprofit music Mends Minds. This is a personal journey that I share with you today. I'm sorry if there'll be some tears, but I'm still very deeply touched by the story. We've had a 13-year journey so far with Parkinson's, and the dementia came about 4 or 5 years ago. So I was really disheartened because I saw a serious decline. And I would notice that things that had been joyful for Erwin were no longer registering as a smile on his face anymore. But on the other hand, if he does sit down in front of the piano with me next to him, and I lift his hands right up onto the keys, away he goes. His fire is lit, and the music ability comes flooding back. So I saw this repeatedly, and I was curious. I called the neurologist, I reported my findings, and Dr. Jeff Bronstein said, "You are watching the power of music changing brain chemistry." Wow. I decided that I would find a few like-minded patients who were also in serious jeopardy because of the neurodegenerative decline. And I called for a launch. 30 people arrived, and 4 souls came out of the woodwork, gathered around the Steinway piano, and started to live life like there was nothing wrong with them. Well, this was the surprise of my life. And we invited these 4 to continue to play together at rehearsals on a bi-weekly basis, and they became the Fifth Dementia Band. And here we are 5 years later, a nonprofit called Music Mends Minds. We have 17 bands across the USA and 6 global bands in formation in 6 different countries. We are bringing music to seniors who've been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, even traumatic brain injury, stroke, and PTSD.
You know, you get together with people, it's a very loving environment. Being here just feels like being part of a family.
People are really dedicated. They come every week, so it's really heartening, and it's very motivational for me to make it stimulating and fun for them because they're making such a big effort.
I think that the thing that characterizes Music Men's Minds differently for them, that there's no expectation that they do anything other than to come and sing songs that they know and love. You don't have to get poked and prodded. You don't have to get assessed about whether you're improving or not improving. That's not part of what we do.
Their hardships can be converted into joy just by playing and making music together. It's bringing back life and joy into the lives of the caregivers and the families.
They have a couple of concerts a year, and the concerts really make them feel really, really special and really appreciated, and their families get to come and see them dressed up.
It was really exciting to have that concert that we had. It was a full church, and they loved it. And it's so great to be up there and do this joyous thing and have everybody really feeling excited about it.
Families are happy because they can see their loved ones rising to the occasion musically.
What they get out of it is a sense of their own self-worth and beauty, because you can't sit and perform this music without being touched by how beautiful it is.
You fall in love with these people. They're so happy to be here and so happy to be singing songs and being part of it that you just fall in love with them.
These people are able to take back their confidence, to take back their identities, and literally start to feel like they are worthwhile again. Otherwise, they've been stripped of their professions, their memories, but somehow those cells in our brains responsible for music storage are untouched by the disease process. My darling Erwin, you see, is end-stage dementia. We know it's a long journey, we know it's a difficult journey, and we can handle it. We are going to make this long journey as meaningful as we can. Thank you to the music.
Thank you for watching our little mini documentary. And yes, who doesn't end up with a smile on their face in the midst of a disaster? We're not only facing COVID at this time that has driven the world into isolation, but our seniors are paralleling COVID as a pandemic of their own. The statistics of every 3 minutes, somebody is being diagnosed with dementia. Every 65 seconds, somebody is being diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Every 10 minutes, somebody diagnosed with Parkinson's. And there's no medication that does a great deal for these people, except music. Music is medicine for the mind. And the bodies of research globally show the magic of music to be able to assist this community of people till the end of their line. And mysteriously, the cells in the human brain that are about music storage continue to be viable while all of the other brain cells in the same environment are dying. And so really the platform of music, Mends, Minds, is a miracle unto itself. And what a blessing and a gift that I'm here today to share with you all. The story really continues to unfold. Yes, in that little video, I said, we're gonna make it work till the end of the line. I didn't know what I was talking about. I was just willing to jump off the bridge and know that I was in a free fall. I am still in this free fall. And I'm here to tell you the stories as I am in this free fall, feeling that I have a safety net around me, that I'm some kind of a Cirque du Soleil acrobat on some high wire trapeze. And this is how I spend my days and nights, living the miracle of the music. Now, the addendum to that little 8-minute video is a story that I didn't know when that video was created 2 years ago. When now January will be 15 years that I've been on this journey with Erwin since we got that Parkinson diagnosis. My background is in healthcare, mind-body medicine, so I knew a little bit, but you know, a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing, but I knew that I was in for the ride of my life. Had no idea where I was going, and I'm here today to give you an update. So, the tragedy of 24/7, having your soulmate in your home. We have to have 24/7 care at this point because there's nothing more that I can do for my darling husband except find the courage to continue to connect with him as he is at the 11th hour because of the dementia, as end-stage dementia. And I want to tell you a little trick that has been my lifeline. These are little shakers, little percussion shakers, soft shakers. And this is what I take when I go to spend some time with my Erwin, who is aphasic. That means he doesn't speak anymore. He doesn't walk anymore. So he's either in a wheelchair or in bed. And when I go to see him, I engage with him with music. We love Tom Jones. We love Celine Dion. We love Barbara Streisand. We've been to their wonderful shows in Vegas. And those memories, because of music storage, remain very vivid for any of us, to include our seniors with neurocognitive decline. And I turn up the music. And I go in there with these little shakers that bolster me. And I shake my booty and I shake my shakers and we rock and roll together and he responds to the music, to the beat of the music. That's the language that is taking us all the way down the continuum. I didn't know this at the time of our 8-minute little mini documentary, but I'm giving you an update. I don't even know if research knows what I know right now. But as a first responder, living a tough journey, it is the music that is my lifeline that is his lifeline. And all of our glorious seniors that you will be meeting as we play some little clips. And of course, COVID turned our world upside down because we've only been in person for musical rehearsals near and far. What were we gonna do? COVID came and it plunged us into isolation. Thank God for Zoom, because in March, we hired a music therapist, board certified, and she said, we'll just go to Zoom. And we did. So have a look at some and meet some of our glorious people as we play some of their clips for you to enjoy them. So Chris, let's introduce our singers and musicians.
We used to play this one at the school dances on Friday nights. Faded photograph, covered now with lines and creases, tickets torn in half, memories of bits and pieces, traces of love long ago that didn't work out right. Traces of love.
Let's go to the next one, Chris.
When I am sad and lonely, one thing that kills me only, don't you know that music ends nice? When I am blue and fearful, I really need a miracle. Don't you know that music ends nice? The piano swinging, it starts me singing. The drum is keeping the beat.
Okay, Chris, next one, please.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. And so I did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to me.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. rise with the morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birdies first perched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and sweet.
Thank you, Chris.
This is my...
Oh my goodness. Is this inspirational or what? This is what fuels me to get out of bed every day. I'm just happy that when my feet hit the deck that I'm on the right side of the grass, because the alternative is not pretty. But we found a way to make it work for our seniors globally, thanks to the COVID and Zoom. We have captivated the world's seniors thanks to Rotary International Clubs, who are our biggest partner. And I'm here today as a Rotarian and proud member of Westwood Village Rotary Club in Westwood, LA. I'm here to greet you as a fellow Rotarian with service above self as our motto, and to enlist you to help Music Men's Minds continue to reach seniors globally and put them onto our Zoom platform and allow them to enjoy pure joy that is the side effect of the music that they are still able to create and for all of us to enjoy. So, my goodness, you know, I'm humbled to be here today. Such a huge luncheon meeting. I'm just in awe of how many people have taken the time to hear our story today. I'm happy to say that we have a post-presentation package. In that has more information for you to enjoy and share, to include CNN Heroes. I was nominated in 2018 and got into the top 20. They came back again in 2020 to do a revisit with us on Zoom. We've just had another global expansion outreach on CNN. We are on the website this month of the Michael J. Fox Foundation, which is Parkinson related, as you know. What can I say? I am here sharing my blessing with you all today. Jump on, help make this a ride that will end all rides as you help Music Men's Minds soar and invite seniors in your club, in your environments to come onto our Zoom platform Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 1 to 2. That link is in the post-presentation package as well. And I'm happy to take a few questions from the floor now. Thank you for your undivided attention. Gil, I see you with a hand up. Unmute yourself, thank you.
So my father was 77, he was dying. He had been in a home and for 6 months he had been unresponsive to anything. My brother, who is a wonderful tenor, and I visited him and sang Danny Boy, and his face split with the biggest smile you've ever seen. So I totally believe your story.
I got one believer. Any more? Hands up. Joel, I see you. Unmute yourself, Joel. Do you want to say something or you're just acknowledging?
Just acknowledging. I just know that music has a way into the brain that's separate from any other pathway.
Yeah, no. You know, and it's all vibrational and we're all on that vibration. We have people zooming in from Africa, from Australia, from Mumbai. I mean, we're all doing music together with language problems, but we can all do and jive together on the same musical thread. Alan, I see you.
Yes, I have been an active musician for the last 70 years. And I've always considered music as my therapy.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I think Pat Coyle, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just love this program, Carol. The thing that I recall seeing in the past few years is that here in the Bay Area, there are people who are using a related technique, developing like a playlist of music that was meaningful for that person in their youth, and then interacting with them with that particular subset of music, and that's been a very powerful technique to draw them out again. But it's just magical what you showed, and I thought I would offer that little slight variation on the theme.
Yes, thank you. That was a program called Alive Inside. And that really was 7 years ago when they launched that wonderful documentary nationwide that went global. And we have found that that still takes people on the inside listening to their music of their era, but with earpods, an earpod and earbuds. It's about the socialization. And that's why the Zoom or in-person bands is unbeatable. It's to share and connect and grow and groove. Sheila, I see you with a hand up. Did you have a hand up, dear? Anyone else?
Any other questions for Carol? I'm not seeing any.
I have one, Carolyn.
Okay, Kathy, you had a question.
Yes,
Kathy.
Carol, I noticed you have the music fellowship pin on your shoulder, and I wonder if you know Susan Dupree and Lee Denlinger.
I absolutely do. I'm a proud member of IFIRM myself. We've worked with them for a couple of years, but since I got onto the World Choir platform on Saturdays, we really do understand each other more.
Mm-hmm.
And they've opened their hearts to us.
Mm-hmm.
And this I wear every single day.
Yeah.
And so I'm a real proud IFIRMer and Rotarian. And I just love the fellowship that is so global. You know, it's just like going home. There's, you know, a Rotarian opens a door and you go through and you're home. So I just, you know, I'm thrilled to be a Rotarian. It took me 73 years to get there, but it's okay. I'm here. I'm proud. And look at all these wonderful people that could work with us to make my dream continue to unfold. I don't have any destination in mind. I just know that Music Men's Minds is in a high occupancy lane. There is no traffic anywhere. We are bound for God knows where. To include making Los Angeles a dementia-friendly city as we start to work with Mayor Garcetti. And the state of Washington is looking to make the entire state a dementia-friendly state. So I'm talking about our pandemic of neurocognitive diseases. And yes, we're in the midst of that, along with COVID. But come on our platform and see us in action. We'll melt your heart.
I wanted to also say this is Beth, and I am a retired school music teacher, but I'm originally from Stockton, where the University of the Pacific is. And when I was in high school, I mean, you don't talk about what am I going to be when I go to college, what am I going to study? You're a musician. You play in the band, you play the piano. And so I was very seriously considering going into the program at University of the Pacific to be a music therapist, because this is wonderful to see what you've been doing with the elderly people and people with dementia. But music therapy is for all ages also, from very, very young children and people with a variety of issues.
Yes.
I decided that I needed to be with just regular band kids, just for me, that it wasn't the right path for me. But I did discover in researching this that what a wonderful program, what wonderful things music therapists can do. And you showed one piece of that you're doing such wonderful work. But I just wanted to say it's also for people of all ages what music can do.
And we do have an intergenerational platform. We even have geriatric nurses on the platform today. Because of COVID, they can't come face to face with their patients. And so they are vicariously on our platform learning about seniors. And we invite young ones to come and play music with the seniors because language falls away and music becomes the language substitute. So we're teaching the kids how to handle their aging parents and grandparents. So we're all in this together. And let me tell you, I wouldn't change a thing other than, of course, my darling Erwin is slipping by the minute, but what a legacy he's brought to the world. And I am the messenger, and I'm so happy to be doing this. So listen, everybody, I've got a platform that starts at 1, and I've got about 35 seniors from all over the world get to be jamming together. So I would like to just take this opportunity to thank you for the honor of speaking to you all today. Please see the post package with all the goodies and come on our platform. God bless you all. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carol, for joining us. Thank you for Chris. That was a wonderful program, and we'll make sure to distribute all the information that is shared. I'm sure she's going to share it with Ken, and we'll get it out to everybody. So up next, so thank you very much, Carol.
Thank you so much.
Speaking of music, Michael, are you going to introduce our song today, or Stu?
No. Oh gosh almighty. I thought we weren't going to do it after the program started. Where am I? Do I see myself? So I found myself not deleting, but changing things. Let's see if I can find it real quick. If I can, we can make that happen. My goodness. You can hear me though?
We can hear you. Would you like me to come back to you, Michael? I'll give you some time.
I'll press, well, just 1 second. Let's see. Stop. How do I share my screen? That would be the first thing I'll do. Can you see my screen now? I don't know.
Not yet, Michael. There we go.
Oh no, I'm getting nervous. It's kind of like the election. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just press go. Let's see, I'll press the go. We don't need words. You guys can figure this out. And realize that I have not taken any musical training. Okay. Press this. Yeah. A deer, a female deer, gray and sun. Me a name I call myself, far along the way to run. So an eagle pulling thread, line to follow so, and tea I drink with jam and bread, that will bring us back to dough. A deer, a female deer, red drop of golden sun. Me a name I call myself, far along the way to run. So a needle golden thread, line to follow so, and tea to drink with jam and bread, that will bring us back to dough. Oh, goodness sakes. How do I get out of here?
Yep. Thank you very much, Michael and Stu. Very appropriate, and a song from one of my favorite movies of all time.
Well, let's see if I
So I'll give Alan a chance to grab control of the screen again.
Thank you for tolerating that.
All right. And up next, Tammy, your thought for the day.
Thank you, Carolyn. Wow, that was beautiful. And I love the joy and blessings, not only for them, but for their families too. Music therapy is as much an astounding experience as it is something concrete and observable. We wanted to share several music therapy quotes that perhaps provides a small window into what makes it so special and magical. These music therapy quotes come from musicians, music therapists, psychologists, novelists, and more. I would love to know which quote is your favorite. So just write it in the chat box. So number 1, it can make a difference between withdrawal and awareness, between isolation and interaction, between chronic pain and comfort, between demoralization and dignity, by Barbara Crow. 2, by Hans Christian Andersen, where words fail, music speaks. 3, almost all children respond to music. Music is as open sesame, and if you can use it carefully and appropriately, you can reach into that child's potential for development. 4, when we look at the body of evidence that the arts contribute to our society, it's absolutely astounding. Music therapists are breaking down the walls of silence and affliction of autism, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease. 5, music can lift us out of depression or move us to tears, which today's moved me to tears. It is a remedy, a tonic, orange juice for the ear. But for many of my neurological patients, music is even more. It can provide access, even when no medication can, to movement, to speech, to life. For them, music is not a luxury, but a necessity. 6, songs express who we are and how we feel. They bring us closer to others. They keep us company when we are alone. They articulate our beliefs and values, and they bear witness to our lives. Songs weave tales of our joys and sorrows. They reveal our innermost secrets, and they express our hopes and disappointments, our fears and our triumphs. We're almost there, guys. Oh, I guess a couple more didn't show up. Okay. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and today was just such a blessing. Thanks, Carolyn, for having her on today.
Very welcome. Thank you very much, Tammy, and everybody can put their vote for your favorite quote and how appropriate. Thank you, Tammy. So we're flipping this around. Our Zoom host, Jeff, thank you very much for being there. Our Spur reporter today is Jim Schmidt, and I know Jim's a music lover, so this is appropriate for him today. Alan, as always, has done a wonderful job with our AV. Kathy will once again be our Spur publisher this week. Sheila was on as our greeter for all of you who were there early. And others are monitoring the Zoom chat today as David is playing the role of supportive dad and helping his son build a fence today. So a photo from my walkabout, and many of you should have seen this. Welcome to downtown Livermore. And I encourage you, if you haven't already done the tour, the walking tour of downtown to see all of the murals, go ahead and do it. One of them is on the side of the Bankhead Theater, a place where a lot of wonderful music happens. Also in our downtown is always seems to be full of music of one sort or another. So make sure to check out those murals. Less than 2 miles to do it all on walk. And then this is just kind of a save the date for all of you. You will recall that last week, District Governor Gucciani mentioned that Holger Knack, Rotary International President, will be joining the Rotary Club of Cupertino, as I believe, on Wednesday, December 9th at 9 a.m. So the Zoom link will follow. So if you want to do a dual Rotary meeting in December and have the space, make sure to save time for that. All right, and now I would like to invite Paul McCandless to give us an update of how efficiently our funds from our district grant are being spent. Paul.
Yeah, hi everybody. We had an updating meeting on October 22nd with Access Community Health, and Access Community Health has received funds from our community healthcare global response global grant. And Access Healthcare has 5 locations in the Tri-Valley, so they're local here. They provide full medical, dental, and mental health care services to about 14,000 patients in our immediate area. So as with all healthcare providers, when last March came around, they were facing something they'd never seen before, and they actually responded quite quickly, but it took a little bit of extra funds, and we were able to help them out with that. So there was really 4 things they did with the funds that we were able to provide. The first one was ramping up their telehealth capabilities. And they did this by buying laptops. They bought 12 laptops, 8 monitors, 30 headsets, and 30 video or webcams so that their healthcare providers could continue to provide patient services over the internet. And that was about $15,000 for what they put into getting their telehealth going. The next thing they wanted to do was do curbside visits. There were some services that they can't provide entirely over the internet, such as testing for A1C and then doing the flu and in fact, the COVID test. And so for that, they wanted to buy 4 tablets, which they did. And with these tablets, they were able to check patients in and even update the record. So at the curbside, they could be putting in patient information. It would go into the patient's permanent file. And that was about a $4,000 investment for 4 tablets. Their big ticket item, and we saw this a few weeks ago about the Asian healthcare, their big ticket item was really remote blood pressure monitors. And they bought 400 of these. And these were for patients that have already been diagnosed with hypertension. And so they need to be monitored so that their healthcare providers can provide proper medication and advice to them. And so they have an interesting way they do this right now. They have the patients text in their blood pressure when they test themselves at home. And then those texts, they have it set up so it goes straight to the patient's permanent file and their health care provider can see that. Now, these blood pressure monitors they bought were Bluetooth enabled, and they're hoping in January to start rolling out a process in which when a patient takes their blood pressure, it will just automatically be uploaded all the way into their patient file without any other intervention. See, the last thing that they're getting, actually don't quite have it yet, are these Sophia antigen testing machines, and they're for rapid flu and COVID testing. They're buying 2 of these units, and they're buying 200 or 400 tests. They're hoping to receive these. They've been on the wait list for some time now, but they're hoping to receive these and start implementing it in November. And so this will enable them to test patients that have either symptomatic and kind of will know what kind of treatment or quarantining they need to do, or for patients that have been recently exposed and they want to know, again, basically the same thing, if they need to go into immediate self-quarantine. So with Access Healthcare, like most healthcare providers and most patients like you and I, have noticed that this transition to the more remote healthcare has worked out very well. Their patients really like it. Even their mental health patients have really enthusiastically gotten on board with this. And so all of these 4 items that have been procured, which adds up to about $72,000, all of these will be used in the future, even once the immediate pandemic issue is gone. They'll still be doing a lot of telehealth, a lot of curbside, and they'll be able to have their hypertension patients getting their treatment from home. So this is all good things that's going to be used well into the future. So we've really made a big addition to our community here. And that's it. But thank you, Carol.
Thank you very much for that update, Paul. And I do want to remind everybody that that global grant is from our contributions that our club generously gives to Rotary International. It comes back in global grants this year because of COVID-19. We were able to, coordinated with the other local Rotary clubs in Area 4 to do a local response grant that, as Paul said, is meeting the current needs, but needs in the future as well. So thank you all Rotarians for your continued generosity to Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation. And now an update from our own local Rotarian Foundation of Livermore. So Ted.
I'm here, thank you. Hello everybody, just a couple of quick updates. One is that from David Rounds. You should have received an email giving you a link to the report to the community that the foundation did recently. And I encourage everyone to look at it. I think it was very well done. Just as background, Carol Garrick did most of the writing in it, and Yvonne Hopkins did the layout and putting it all together so it looks as great as it did. So I encourage you all to take a look at it.
I would like to recommend, Ted, I would like to recommend that we put that link on our website.
Okay. I'll take care of that. Thanks, Alan. Second item is the children's holiday party. Normally each year we have it, but we're going to reimagine it this year. And that's a polite way of saying it's been canceled due to COVID. However, what we're planning to do is use, Rosemary Almond is in charge of Cape Head Start, as she has been, and the RCoL will provide Head Start enrolled children with gift bags. The children would be selected from needy families below the 100% of the federal poverty guidelines, and I'd put those up, but it would be too depressing for me to put up because the guidelines are so low. So these are really needy families. The plan is to provide 125 gift bags to children 3 to 5 years old, and the bags would include clothing such as depending on what we can get and how much money we have, sweatshirts, socks, gloves, toys, games, books, and whatever else we can get that is available that we can get new for 125 children. And I couldn't say all that without saying, as in the past, we need help from both clubs. In terms of donations to the Children's Holiday Restricted Fund are needed to help buy the items, and that you can get to by going to the Rotarian Foundation website, hitting the donate button, and go down and look for the Children's Holiday Party Restricted Fund. And that'll get you, because Foundation is 501c3, that would get you onto that. And we also need help from people putting the gift bags together at the Cape Head Start offices. Help is needed to distribute the bags once they're put together outside their offices. So all of that would be done at Cape Head Start using their facilities, and Rosemary Almond, who's in charge of it, she's in the morning club, but she's also the director of Cape Head Start. She'll be coordinating it. Carol Garrick is involved with it as well, but since Carol had her hip operation, we'll see how well she comes back from that and can get out and around. If you want to help, contact Rosemary, and I put her email address up there as well, and I'm sure it'll be in the minutes when it's sent out this week at the same time. Just one more thing to add is that, as we did last year, we're going to be sending out a letter to both clubs asking for donations to the foundation directly. Those foundations help us do the grants, help us do some of the other activities like this, help us do the Bill Geyer Scholarship, etc. We're in the midst at this point, and I may come back at some point and talk a bit more about it, of trying to raise money for Chromebooks for the Livermore Valley Joint Unified School District. That's a partnership with the Livermore Valley Education Foundation. It's going very well right now, but I won't spend any more time on it than that, other than to say, I'll come back at you and talk more about that at some point if there's time on one of our future agendas. So thank you today, and look forward to hoping you can help us with the Christmas Fund, and with the Christmas party. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Ted. So there are just lots of opportunities and other service opportunities that come up, and that's one of them. So this is just a reminder for everybody that about our membership directory. So we do have for our club members, and that's a directory that can be downloaded and accessed from our website. Is that you have control over what information you'd like to include in the website, and so if you only want your name and not an email address and not your phone number and address, you can control that yourself. You can either go on and look at your profile in DACDB. Remember, that's our database that we use. Or if you would prefer, you can also contact David Rounds, our club secretary, or Kathy Coyle, who's kind of our expert in DACDB, and they can help update those for you as well. If you are happy having that all listed, go ahead and keep that. So next week's program will be Veterans Day program, and that's being coordinated by Dennis O'Brien. We'll also be able, thank you, Dennis. We'll be hearing from some student veterans at Las Positas College, and then also from our very own dear John Shirley, a video for a presentation that he did about his time in serving our country. So make sure that you don't miss our meeting next week. And then just a couple of kind of circling back to some announcements that were made before we officially began the meeting. Joel Swanson, we have some other service opportunities coming up at Sunflower Hill.
Yes, please check your email. And I sent some messages out this morning about basically a winterizing of the greenhouse at Sunflower Hill. So if you're in a mind to help clean up and weatherproof the wood frame of the greenhouse, there's some good work to be done next Friday morning. That's the 13th from 8:30 to 11 o'clock in the morning. Jeff and I were out there last Friday, and this will be easier than that. And the weather looks like it's going to be cool, but good weather for working outside. So we'll see you there. They're limited to 10 people because of COVID restrictions. So click the link first if you want to be in the project. Thanks.
And Joel, just remind us that club members can't just show up, and how far in advance do they need to sign up to volunteer? This is not a last minute decide I'll do it on Friday morning.
Thank you, President Carolyn. Yes, they actually use a particular web-based link that you have to click on and sign up for in order to get their 10 volunteers. If you just show up, they're not going to be ready to give you a mask and take your temperature and all that, especially if you're number 11 out of 10. They'll thank you very much for your enthusiasm and tell you to sign on next time. So they typically close that list about 2 days before the project, just so they don't have all the last minute volunteer paperwork to deal with there. So looking forward to seeing y'all Friday after this coming Friday.
All right, and then one last announcement we'll circle back to, and that will be Pat Coyle. If you want to give just one more shout out to an opportunity for people to buy a drum if they really want to make their own music, and we heard so much about music today, or make somebody really mad by buying their child a drum.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Carolyn. And again, I appreciate the outpouring of generosity. And if Michael's drum featured prominently, for those of you who were able to catch it, we can share snippets of that later, perhaps in the video of the program. But the drum is available. More whiskey tastings are available. More NIF tours are available. So if you want any of those, just let me know in the chat, and Michael and I can coordinate about the drum, and I'll take care of the whiskey and the NIF tours.
I'll throw in a pair of sticks. 2 pairs of sticks for his and hers.
Can I go on the NIF tour while drinking whiskey?
Why not?
Okay, I'm going to be
quiet. All right. And then I will just, looking at the chat, just remind everybody that with the database, that it's important. I think Gordon Jones is our kind of resident expert for keeping data security. And Gordon reminds me to remind all of you that we can all go in and change our own password for DACDB. You can set that up yourself, and you can change that as often as you want. And if you need some more information about how to access that, I'm sure Kathy would be willing to do that, right, Kathy? Yep, thumbs up from Kathy. So it's important to keep everything, our data secure and safe. So you have the option, and that is within your control. So at that, this concludes another musical meeting of the Rotary Club of Livermore. Thank you all for joining us today. A very inspirational program, and we'll distribute the information that Carol shared about Music Men's Minds. Look forward to seeing you all at a future meeting. Thanks, everyone.